I'm coming home, I'm coming home, tell the world I'm coming.
Hey guys, Galaxy today with another Hypixel Skyblock video, and I wanted to talk about a few quality of life changes that I want to see in the next, in 2025. Basically, some dark auction changes, relating to some talismans, in terms of like Iron Man versus non-Iron Man players competing in the same lobbies. To be fair for Iron Man players, they should ideally have different, like, Iron Man only dark auction, so they don't have to compete with the inflation aspect of the regular profiles, because there's a lot more inflation that is across server wide in terms of that. Second thing, end artifacts, like 460 million apparently. So like 460 million, 470 million in terms of cost. You can probably find it for like 450, 440 million in the dark auction or something, but still that is a ridiculous amount of coins for a single talisman that's sort of required for Enderman Slayer to be effective. So, and it's since Hypixel, like last year or something, said that they increased the amount of slots, like server allocation to for dark auctions, which seems to not have taken too much effect to the actual supply of items, and I think they were referring to potential servers more than anything, because of the obviously amount of items haven't really been changed, like the supply of items on the auction house and all that haven't changed too much. So I think it's something to do with not as many total players attending dark auctions, because the overall amount of players playing Skyblock has decreased over the past year because of there not being too many content based updates. So that is probably another factor on that, in terms of a little bit why that the end artifact has shot up so much in price. Another thing is about the tier 7 enchants are basically almost exclusively locked behind experimentation table, and if you want to like truly squeeze as much little bit damage out of everything and all that kind of jazz, you're basically having to RNG your way through there if you're on Iron Man, or if you're on a regular profile, like a fair bulk of the players are, and even for an enchant like Ender Slayer 7, which can be farmed effectively through Enderman Slayer, it's still 130, 140, 50 mil for that single enchant, let alone growth 6, prot 6, not growth 6, prot 6, growth 7, prot 7, because they're 170, 180 mil, times that by 4, so that's 740 million basically just for growth 7 on say even Necron or Crimson, and then times that by 2 if you want it on both, like you're talking several billion coins just for like 2 T7 enchants on 2 armor sets. So, and that's not including if you want it on like Magma Lord armor, or like, I don't know why, but Divan, or whatever reason, Fermento as well, just because you can, and all the dungeon heads and all that kind of jazz. It's going to be like several billion coins worth of enchants. So I reckon there should be a way either through dungeons or Kudra to be able to get those tier 7 enchants, like in addition to the experimentation table. So if people don't have to do, like, say M5 to M7 for example, and say burning whatever the third tier of Kudra is and above, for example. So it's like still so some of the mid to or late game players that doesn't so burning tier, fiery, and infernal, with the higher tier having a higher chance to drop the stuff, obviously. To drop tier 7 books, so like, you know, growth 6, prot 6, and this, well, Ender Slayer doesn't have to be included, but like, you get the point. You get the get those sort of enchants into one or both of the into Kudra loot pool at the very least, if not Kudra plus master mode dungeons like M5 to M7. So yeah. And another thing about quality of life update that I want to see expanded on or included sometime next year is some of the older ultimate enchants. So you got your bank 5 to some degree. You got your ultimate Jerry, I guess, potentially. I know it's a meme enchant, but still. No pain, no gain. You got, you know, your last stand potentially as well. You got your combo. I think fatal tempo, I think, to some degree, could use an update slash a rework. But apart from fatal tempo potentially, the rest of the ultimate enchants that I mentioned probably need to have a look at, because they aren't useful or beneficial really to anyone. They were cool at the start, obviously, like combo and bank being the only ultimate enchants, and that was before booster cookies, obviously. So bank had some level of use, not much obviously, but some level of use to the game for people putting it on and all that jazz. But they're just a waste of inventory spots and all this other kind of stuff, and filling up the bazaar, and probably slowing down the servers a little bit, just because of how many the server has to just process, and people just dropping and all that kind of jazz. So it will probably benefit them being useful. So the resources of like their servers actually processing all the extra drops comparatively of useless enchants kind of becomes at least some level of useful. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, sub if you haven't, and if you've got any thoughts, leave them down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.